So the guy who directed The Barbarian dropped a movie this year titled Weapons, right? And this movie is actually really freaking good. Like I don't really go out of my way to see a lot of movies marketed as horror films. I'm not a big horror movie person. I've seen a lot of the big ones. I was obviously plan on letting you guys see my Carrie review at some point. I'm working on it. I really want it to be good. But honestly, like I don't go out of my way to go to the movies specifically to see horror movies. But this one kind of had a lot of watchability in my opinion. It wasn't on my like must see in the theaters, but my friend paid for me to go with him, so I went with him. And honestly, I was very, very pleased with the film. I was talking about it afterwards. I was so excited to do this video about it. It's a very watchable movie. I'd say for people who love horror movies, this is a perfect movie for you. But I don't even really think it's a horror film. I want to put it down as more of a psychological thriller with a large, large amount of intensity thrown in there. But like the gore in the film is really good, shot really well. Definitely an on location shot type of film. There isn't a lot of blood in the movie, but the gore that we get is like really like memorable, and it hits the mark where exactly where it needs to. Where I feel like a lot of movies kind of lose that sometimes. But this movie actually has a pretty cool cast because it's like Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, and Benedict Wong. And this new kid who I think is going to be a very big deal in a couple of years is Carrie Christopher, who he is actually just got announced as he's going to be in Lanterns next year. So he's already in the DCU. So he's got a universe under his belt and a really popular horror movie this year under his belt. And the kid's pretty solid. The surprising appearance that I didn't think I was going to see was Justin Long. It's not in it a lot, but I was like, oh, Justin Long is in a movie? This is random as hell. Like, it was so random, but it was cool to see him, right? But okay, so going in, like, the movie pretty much is what it is. Apparently there's like 17 kids go missing in the middle of the night on some day, and they're trying to figure out why these kids left. What made these kids leave the house? What made these kids disappear? And there's a teacher from all these kids are in the same class. There's a teacher who is played by Julia Gardner, character Justine, who is pretty much blamed, ridiculed, and pretty much suspected by the entire town for the kids going missing. Pretty much every reason. She has every reason to be upset, every reason to be mad, every reason to be standoffish, things like that. And she's just a teacher who cares, right? And then there's Josh Brolin, who is a father to one of the kids who went missing. And he's stopping at nothing to get the clues, get closure, find his child, and do his thing as far as that's concerned. I love the fact that Josh Brolin is he's always good. Like I love Josh Brolin. There's never a movie I've seen him in, even if the movie's bad, where I'm like, man, Josh Brolin was ass, bro. But no, he was good. Julia Garner got a hell of a year this year. She's Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four, and she's in probably a lot of people's favorite horror movie this year, even though mine is Sinners. But that's neither here nor there. So there's a big reveal, and I can't really reveal it. I don't want to reveal it because I actually really want people to see the movie in theaters. But this movie is like intense as hell. Like I'm sitting in the theater, like, yo, what's about to happen? This, that, and the third, and then something would happen, or the tension would build up, and then either nothing would happen or something would happen, and you'd be like, yo, bro, what? And I don't want to reveal the cause of it because that's the big reveal in the movie that I want you all to see. So I'm going to try to bypass that whole situation. But I will say the leading thing that kind of happens to make the events of the movie take place, it's like some grim fairy tale level type shit. It is like straight up grim fairy tale level. It's really not like sugar coated either. Like it's dealt with. Like you see what I'm saying? And I'm in the theater like, bruh, this is a hard joint, and it's so cool at the same time. Like the shots are so still, but there's so much you can just feel. I don't know how to explain it, but there's like sometimes there'll be like a shot of the house and the door will open, but you can't see nothing. those type of shots freak me out so bad because you just don't know what's about to come out of that joint. I will say that the classic horror movie trope takes place in this movie where sometimes the dumbest thing is done just so something else can happen. And the best scene in the movie, in my opinion, comes from one of the characters that I just don't want to tell what the characters are. But there's a character who is clearly a homeless drug addict who would have been the clutch character, but that character always doesn't get to be. And you kind of root for him after a point because you're kind of like, oh yeah, 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 do it. But it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work out. And you get real mad. But this movie is I've never seen a horror movie done in like a Rashomon style flick. I've never seen like a Rashomon style, multiple different stories of a different perspective of the same situation in a horror movie before. Now I could be wrong, but I've never seen it. And they used it really, really well here. So that's something like a Rashomon style film in 2025 felt so fresh for some reason. For some reason, this felt really fresh. But the best scene in the movie is what I was mentioning. Like that scene, you just don't know what's about to happen until something does. And you're just like, oh my God. And like the audience reaction in the theater tells you everything. Like we all pretty much had the same reaction when stuff just like started happening in that sequence. And we're just like, bruh. Like it was crazy. But I will say, everyone actually puts on a really good performance, and even the kid, Carrie Christopher, he did solid. He was pretty solid. I mean, I've seen some bad kid actors. I've seen some good kid actors. He's pretty solid. But man, yeah, it's really intense. It's just I like those type of movies though. So that's why I was like I wasn't gonna see it, and then I saw it. I'm happy I did because I'm more of a psychological thriller type guy. I like movies like Psycho and stuff like that more so than like full blown horror slasher film. So, and I don't even dislike slasher movies, but I prefer psychological thriller with some horror elements than full blown horror, bloody. Just we just gonna do whatever we want with the blood all over the place type. So that's my personal type of thing that I prefer in that kind of genre. And there was one sequence that even me and my friend talked about though, where we were kind of like, why was this here? Like, why was it in this shape? And this is going to be a little tough, but I thought it was kind of an allegory to like potentially a school thing. I don't want to say it on my channel, but it's similar to that kind of thing. And we were kind of like, is this an allegory for that? And we were like, we came out the theater, we were like, no. So what was the point of it being there? And my biggest thing was I thought that was the case, and this was like all in someone's head, and that would have made the movie dumb as hell. But that's not what happened, thank God. But I think you guys will know when you see the movie. If you do, I highly recommend going to see the movie. It's a nice time at the theater just to be like, bro, what? Oh shoot! Like it's the jump scares are good. The jump scares are hella good. The performance, yeah, it's a really. I can't even, like I said, I can't break down too much without spoiling it because it's one of those movies you have to experience the first time without knowing. So yeah, but I'm going to start by saying and end this video on a note that like please just go see the movie. I think people will talk about this movie for a few years. It's pretty damn solid. I will say Warner Brothers has been on a hell of a swing this year. They've been putting out box office success. They've been putting out popular films. I think Warner Brothers might finally get it. Like, yo, just put these joints out. Put out some fire ones. Put out some fire ones. Put out some original ones. Put out something that's going to get people in the theaters going, hey, yo. And they also got some box office hits. I mean, Sinners cost 90 million, box office success. Minecraft is absolutely a box office success. This movie will be. I definitely believe this one will be. I am very sad that Mickey 17 wasn't, but I mean, either way, it's not going to hurt Warner Brothers that much. And then also Superman, the bigger, so Warner Brothers has been doing moderately very successful this year. And yeah, it's just Warner like they're really going for it. And like I said, Julia Garner, hell of a year. Fantastic Four and now Weapons right next to each other. It's like, bruh, people are seeing this girl in two different movies. Good for her. I'm happy. She seems like she's going to be someone I'm going to enjoy watching in the next few years. I think I'm going to really enjoy watching her in stuff. So I think I might be going to see stuff with her just to see how well she does. But yeah, I'm glad you guys made it this far. If you did, like I said, I don't want to spoil the movie, so I'm not going to go too deep in. But I definitely recommend seeing the movie. It's one of those things you only experience the first time, but it's still really good. So with that note, leave a comment, like, and subscribe for more, and I'll see you on the next one.